You are about to witness 63 separate instances of human beings treating the laws of physics, basic economics, and social contracts as if they were mere suggestions. What's most disturbing isn't that these complaints exist. It's that each person behind them was absolutely, unshakably certain they were right. Today, we're documenting the precise moment when entitlement meets reality, and reality doesn't flinch. 1. A woman called her phone carrier demanding a refund because she exceeded her data limit while streaming in an area with no Wi-Fi. The plan clearly stated the limit. She'd used nearly triple it. Her argument was that she shouldn't have to pay for something she didn't know she was using. Physics doesn't negotiate, and apparently neither should billing departments. 2. A customer demanded that a pizza place remake his order because he thought medium meant the size he imagined in his head, not the actual size defined by the restaurant's own menu he'd ordered from. When they showed him the listed dimensions, he insisted the measurements were marketing lies. 3. A man bought a budget airline ticket, then complained to staff that his seat was too uncomfortable for a 6-hour flight. The seat had been the same price as everyone else's. He expected the airline to either refund him or somehow retrofit the seat mid-flight. Neither happened. 4. A person booked a hotel room for one night, showed up a day late, and demanded the hotel honor the reservation anyway at no extra charge. The room had been sold to someone else. He called it theft of his booking rights. 5. A woman returned a pair of shoes after wearing them for an entire month, claiming they were defective because they gave her a blister. Blisters are what shoes do when you don't let your feet adjust to them. She wanted a full refund and expected customer service to agree this was reasonable. They did not. 6. A man complained to a coffee shop that his espresso was too hot to drink immediately. He wanted them to make it cooler. They offered him ice water to sip between shots. He called it not helpful. 7. A parent demanded her local library extend their hours specifically because she needed childcare until 9 p.m. When told the library wasn't a daycare, she left a 1-star review saying they were unsupportive of working mothers, not understaffed public institutions with fixed budgets. 8. A customer ordered a dish at a restaurant, didn't read the description carefully, it arrived exactly as described, and he sent it back claiming false advertising. His complaint? I thought the basil would be less noticeable. It's basil. It's supposed to be noticeable. 9. Someone booked a flight at 6 a.m., then complained the airport was too crowded at 6 a.m., as if other travelers had specifically shown up to ruin his morning. They hadn't. They'd just booked the same affordable time slot. 10. A man demanded a full refund from a gym because after 2 weeks of membership, he wasn't seeing the results he wanted. 2 weeks. He wasn't seeing results that would normally take 3 months. His muscles apparently operate on a different calendar than everyone else's. 11. A woman ordered a salad at a steakhouse and complained that it tasted too much like salad. This is where we are. 12. A customer bought a waterproof watch, dropped it in the ocean, and demanded a refund when it broke. Waterproof to 30 meters doesn't mean it's magically indestructible. It means it won't break from rain. The ocean disagrees with his interpretation. 13. A person rented a car, returned it on time but with an empty gas tank, and demanded the rental company cover the fill-up cost. That should be included, he said. Included in what? The use of his own money? 14. A student complained to his university that he'd failed a test because the classroom was cold. Cold temperatures affect cognition, yes. Cold enough to forget everything he'd studied? Unlikely. The real problem sat between his ears. 15. A man ordered food for delivery, the driver got lost and arrived 30 minutes late, and he demanded a refund for the entire meal plus compensation. The food was fine. The driver had the wrong address. Somehow this was the restaurant's fault in his mind, which is not how causality works. 16. A woman booked a beach vacation during hurricane season. A hurricane came, and she wanted her money back because the weather wasn't cooperating. The weather isn't a contractor. You can't sue the atmosphere for breach of contract. 17. A customer complained to an airline that his seat was next to the bathroom. The plane had many seats. He'd bought the cheapest ticket. He expected equity without paying for it. That's not economics. That's a fantasy. 18. A parent demanded her child's school provide free tutoring because the child learns better one-on-one. Every child learns better one-on-one. That's not a disability. That's a preference funded by desire, not reality. 19. A man returned a book he'd finished, claiming he wanted his money back because the ending was disappointing. Books don't have satisfaction guarantees. That's not how art works. He just didn't like it. 20. A customer demanded that a grocery store stock his favorite obscure brand exclusively because it's what he prefers. A store with 300 other customers also has preferences. His mattered less than he thought. 21. A woman complained that the DMV was wasting her time with paperwork requirements for a license renewal. The paperwork exists because there was a time when DMVs didn't have it, and society agreed that was worse. 22. A person booked a non-refundable flight, then demanded a refund when their plans changed. Non-refundable means non-refundable. The words were right there. His convenience doesn't override the contract he agreed to. 23. A man sued a coffee shop because the coffee was hot. This was a real lawsuit. The world has moved on. He became famous for the exact reason he wanted justice. Total, absolute misunderstanding of how coffee works. 24. A customer complained that a restaurant didn't have a plain chicken option, even though they did. He wanted it cooked differently than listed. When they offered to customize it, he said that was too much work. For him, he asked them to do it, but the work was on them. 25. A parent demanded her child's school eliminate math homework because she's tired after school. Everyone is tired. That's when growth happens. 26. A woman called her bank demanding a refund for an overdraft fee, explaining she'd simply forgotten she had no money. The fee exists because she had no money. The bank can't waive that with a smile and pretend cause and effect don't exist. 27. A customer ordered the spiciest item on the menu, found it spicy, and demanded it be remade less spicy. The spicy was the entire point. He specifically requested it, but apparently he wanted spicy and non-spicy simultaneously, which breaks several laws of flavor. 28. A man complained that his home's foundation was cracking and demanded the previous owners repair it for free, even though he'd purchased the house, signed inspections, and bought it as is. Somehow, time worked backward in his mind. 29. A person complained to Netflix that there weren't enough TV shows that matched their exact preference. Netflix has 10,000 titles. His 5 preferences were too niche, so he blamed them instead of accepting his taste as specific. 30. A customer demanded a refund from a clothing store because the shirt was too revealing after she purchased it without trying it on. The fit was correct. The reveal level was accurate to the photo. Her regret wasn't the store's problem. 31. A man returned a gaming console 3 months later because he didn't like the game he chose. Not the console. Different product. Similar logic. Somehow the hardware was at fault. 32. A person demanded that a restaurant provide free meals for life because they'd dined there once and had become a loyal customer. 1 meal. Loyalty apparently is one-directional and free. 33. A woman complained that her phone bill was high and demanded a discount simply for being a customer. Everyone is a customer. That's how customers work. She wanted special treatment for being exactly like everyone else. 34. A man demanded a refund from a personal trainer because he wasn't seeing abs yet after 3 weeks. Abs appear when calories out exceed calories in. That's biochemistry, not negotiable. It also requires months, not weeks. 35. A customer returned a mattress after sleeping on it for a year, claiming it was uncomfortable. A mattress has broken in by now. so has his back. He wanted a refund for having used a product and then hating his choice. 36. A parent demanded the school remove all books with sad endings from the curriculum because children shouldn't encounter negative emotions. They're going to encounter sorrow. It's called being alive. Preventing it via curriculum censorship won't help. 37. A man called his internet provider complaining that his speeds were too fast and demanded compensation because it was confusing to have choices. This is where entitlement and absurdity have become indistinguishable. 38. A woman booked a one-star hotel, found it was one-star quality, and demanded a refund because the pictures were misleading. The pictures accurately reflected a one-star environment. She paid one-star prices. This was not a bait and switch. 39. A customer demanded that a gym refund her membership because looking at fitness people at the gym made me feel bad about myself. The gym didn't cause her feelings, the gym's existence did. That's not a refundable offense. 40. A man complained that his flight was delayed and sued the airline for the cost of his vacation cancellation, thousands of dollars because of a storm. Weather delays flights. That's why they happen. You can't invoice nature. 41. A person demanded that a bookstore special order a book then give them a discount for the inconvenience of that special order. They caused the inconvenience. They're receiving the benefit. The discount was them not paying extra for the service. 42. A woman complained that a restaurant sat her by a window and the sun was bright. Windows let light in. That's their fundamental job. Moving to a different table was offered. She wanted the restaurant to build a windowless window. 43. A man demanded his electricity bill be lowered because he didn't use that much energy, even though his meter, thermostat, and bill all said otherwise. His feeling of usage didn't match actual usage. The meter is the honest one. 44. A customer returned a dress to a department store after wearing it to an event, claiming it was uncomfortable to dance in. It was a dress, not dancewear. He paid for it. He wore it. Now he wanted his money back because he danced badly. 45. A parent demanded that their child's school provide a custom curriculum because the standard one was too challenging. It was second grade. It's supposed to be challenging. That's called learning. 46. A man complained to his landlord that the apartment was too quiet and demanded a discount on rent. Quiet is not a liability. For most people, it's a feature. 47. A woman ordered a product online, returned it within the return window but without packaging, and demanded a full refund. Returns require condition assessment. A product without packaging has lost condition. Basic logic. 48. A customer called a restaurant demanding compensation because his soup was too soupy. Soup is soup. The viscosity is the product. That's not a defect, that's the definition. 49. A person bought life insurance, lived a long life, and demanded they get their premiums back because they didn't use the insurance. Insurance is a bet you won. Congratulations. You don't get paid for winning the lottery of longevity. 50. A man complained that his car's trunk was too small for his cross-country move. He owned the car. He knew its size before buying it. But his needs had changed, and somehow that was the manufacturer's fault. 51. A woman demanded that a gym give her a refund because she wasn't disciplined enough to go. The gym provided the service. She didn't use it. That's not a gym failure, that's an honesty problem. 52. A customer returned a mirror because it showed him looking fat. Mirrors show truth. That's their entire purpose. Blaming the mirror for reflection is blaming the messenger for the message. 53. A person demanded that an airport refund his parking fee because he parked in the wrong lot and got confused. Lots are marked. Signage exists. His confusion was his navigation failure, not the airport's. 54. A man complained to his ISP that his neighbor's Wi-Fi connection was interfering with his streaming quality. ISP said to move his router. He refused and demanded they sue his neighbor. They can't sue someone for existing in an adjacent house. 55. A parent demanded her utility company keep her rates low because she had 5 kids and needed affordable electricity. Everyone needs affordable bills. That's why bills exist, to distribute actual costs. Sympathy doesn't replace economics. 56. A customer bought a plant, never watered it, and demanded a refund when it died. The plant needed water. It was printed on the care tag. This was a negligence issue, not a product defect. 57. A woman called her mortgage lender, asking them to lower her interest rate because other banks have better rates. They offered her to refinance. She refused because that would involve paperwork. So she wanted the benefit without any action. Universal desire, impossible outcome. 58. A man demanded that a pharmacy give him a discount on prescription medication because he didn't like taking pills. The medication doesn't care about your feelings. It cares about your chemistry. Discount him, and his health still won't improve from denial. 59. A person complained that a restaurant's kids menu didn't have adult portions of kids' food. Kids' portions are smaller. That's why they're cheaper. If you want adult portions, order adult portions. 60. A customer demanded that an airline refund his ticket because he changed his mind on the day of the flight. Airlines run on schedules. He had days to change his mind. The day of departure is called Commitment Day. 61. A woman sued her fitness tracker company because it counted calories burned while she slept, and she felt robbed of those calculations. The tracker was accurate. Her sleep burns calories. That's metabolism. Suing the machine for math she doesn't like is a new genre of lawsuit. 62. A man called his insurance company demanding they cover a fender bender he caused, insisting his deductible was too high. Deductibles exist to prevent frivolous claims. His claim is frivolous. That's not a defect in the system. That's proof it's working. 63. Finally, a person demanded that their employer give them a raise because they existed at the workplace for a year. Existing is not achievement. Employment exchanges money for labor, not for your continued presence. You could be anywhere. You're here because you're being paid. That's the deal. What unites all 63 of these moments is a fundamental misunderstanding of how the world works. Most people believe they are exceptions. They're not. They're the rule. The rule is that consequences don't negotiate. Physics doesn't care about your feelings. Contracts don't forgive because you regret them. And reality has a way of teaching those lessons with stubborn, unyielding clarity. The most fascinating part isn't that these complaints happened. It's that each person was sincerely baffled when told no. They believed genuinely that their inconvenience was the world's problem to solve. And that's the real complaint worth making. Not about the people themselves, but about a culture where entitlement has become so normalized that asking for the impossible feels reasonable. Out of all 63, which one made you most certain that humanity needs to recalibrate its expectations? And have you ever found yourself making a similar argument, even just for a second before stopping yourself? Drop your answer below. And if you want more of this, hit subscribe. I'll be here, documenting the beautiful, baffling chaos of human confidence in the face of reality.